My brother, finally, we get to do an interview. Even though it's not in person, at least we're seeing each other doing this on Zoom, man. How are you doing? For folks who are watching this whole thing on Rudy Blair Entertainment Media, rudyblairmedia.com, we almost didn't do this because we had all this running around to do in the last minute. We almost had to cancel, but it all came together, man. So glad to get a chance to talk to you.
God bless you, my brother. Thank you so much for having us. It's good to see you too. Wish we could do it live, and eventually we'll get to that, hopefully. But God is good, man. I'm here. I'm excited. More music is happening, and I love the opportunity to speak with you, man. So let's get to it, man. Lots going on. Good
Lots
stuff.
going on. Lots going on. Before we get into all the great things that are going on with you right now, I want to talk about what just happened recently during Black History Month, the Black Diamond Ball, your second appearance, but this was on television though. What was that like to do that? And now the rest of the world seeing what you've been doing for the community for such a long time.
um, it was an amazing experience. It was actually, we're a part of history. So Soul Sessions, the Black Diamond Ball, it was our first time being on national television for that specific event. Like you said, I've been a part of it for the last 2 years, but it was an amazing feeling to have people from Alberta, Nova Scotia. I think it was Red Deer, Alberta. Like I got some messages from people saying I saw you on TV. Um, uh, in Fort McMurray,
Wow.
Saskatchewan, and all these places. So it was great to be a part of that. And more importantly, Black History Month is cool, but I mean, we're Black all the time, to be honest. But it was good that other people across Canada could see the entertainment, um, all the Black excellence, as I call it, with all the individuals that were part of that, getting awards and things of that nature, just showing that we are a vital part of the community. And it was great to just be a part of that.
Absolutely. Look, for folks who don't know exactly what Soul Sessions is, and like I said, you've been around for a long time, and there's a reason why I'm wearing my Soul Train T-shirt to
My man.
represent the music that you guys have been performing. What is Soul Sessions exactly?
Sure, sure. So Soul Sessions is a celebration of music that goes from the 60s to the 90s, a 40-year celebration that we do in one night. We've actually expanded that because we know that there's a lot of great music of today, and some of our still of our amazing artists that we love, like Stevie Wonder and a bunch of others that are still doing music today. So we celebrate these individuals. A lot of our Canadian talent that we have grew up on a lot of this music. So what we do is we take that moment in time and we bring it to life on a live stage. And we have everybody have that nostalgic feeling of remembering when music used to, what I call, stick to your rib.
Very,
Really,
very
Soul
true.
Sessions in a nutshell.
You know, for folks who have not seen this, from being on stage, talk about what it's like to see the audience, because for what I've because I've been there for the shows.
Yes,
The
sir.
only reason why if somebody is sitting down is because they got their arm around their loved one and they don't want to
Yes.
let them go. But other than that, though, they up jamming.
Absolutely. You know, it's high energy from the beginning of the 60s all the way to the last show. And I designed the show to touch on all the emotions that we used to. So love, excitement, joy, even breakups and things of that nature. So people just understand that we all are human. We go through all of these emotions. But like you said, there's nothing like the live music of a band, the performers projecting that particular music, and then the synergy of the crowd all together. That's another reason why I called it Soul Sessions, because your soul has no color, no creed, because my audience is well beyond just Black folk. It's from white folk to yellow folk to brown folk to everybody, to blue folks, to everybody who just wants the synergy of good music and to feel good and take away some of that negative energy that we all know we go through a lot of the times. And just being in the room and having that entire synergy capsulated into one event is such an amazing feeling. And I can't wait, to be honest with you, Rudy, to get back to doing that and having you announce us. That's going to be a great time.
This is breaking news here. We definitely got to talk, and I would be honored to be part of this. One of the other things that is such a great part of this is you highlight local talent, not just in Toronto, but across Canada. Talk a little bit about that, please, because these are artists who, don't get that radio play like other artists do.
You know, Rudy, one of the things that I set out to do with Soul Sessions, as much as we do all the covers, and don't get me wrong, that music will live forever, and there's a place for that. And a lot of people love that nostalgic feeling. One of the things that I set out to do is to make sure that Canadian artists across the country have an opportunity to perform their music as well, bringing out themselves, bringing out their passionate, the way they write, the way that they sound. And my new venture, Spotlight. It's all Canadian, all live. And when I say all Canadian, Rudy, I'm talking about the band. I'm talking about the photographers. I'm talking about the makeup artists.
Wow.
I'm talking about even the food that we're going to be eating is infused with our culture. So Canadian culture is a melting pot of all kinds of cultures. So you can imagine we're going to have, of course, the Jamaican and Caribbean foods, but what about the Portuguese who make an amazing meal as well? And
That's
what about our
Canadian.
Italian community who makes amazing food as well? And just infusing everything together. And I've reached out, and a lot of the Canadian artists have reached out to me, and I have a bunch of shows lined up for this. And the first one is set off to start in April 24th, live online where everybody could tune in. And Layla Day, Ray Robinson, Gary Beals, and also Kimaya are the first 4 artists that we're going to highlight. We do an interview with them first, like a panel interview, and then they hit the stage and perform their music like you've never seen before.
So for folks who've seen your show in the past,
Yes.
this is going to be different. So they're getting something completely unique. And at the same time, we are highlighting some of the best talent from the red and white Maple Leaf.
The only thing that's different is that all the music majority of the music that you're going to hear, because they do kind of like a 1-minute snippet of their influence in terms of what they loved and what they grew up on. So you'll get a little bit of that nostalgic feeling, but I really wanted to focus on these individuals in terms of their music. And the same feeling that you would get from, let's say, Aretha Franklin, all the way to a Sam Cooke and Luther Vandross and Gary Beals' voice, and and the Kimaya, who has more of a 90s pop feel, from the Deborah Coxes and the Tamias of our times and so forth. So you get that nostalgic feeling, but you get their music and you get them. And it was important for me to establish a platform that highlights us, especially in the R&B soul category. There's not a lot of platforms that do that. So I want to be the one to break that through, because we hear the music in commercials and everything every day, but why not highlight our own and make sure that we have a platform to do so?
I want to get into that right now because, just recently Bruno Mars has released a new single from the music. Really, it's a tribute to the music that you perform. You look at
Absolutely.
Justin Bieber, he's doing the exact same thing. The Weeknd has done it on his own in the same venue. What
Yep.
is going on with these young cats going back to back in the day? But here's the thing, though, because I was actually speaking with Drew,
Yes,
and
that's a good friend of mine. Big
you
ups to
know,
Drew.
he's got new music out, and it's the same thing from that salute. So, but we don't hear that so much on the radio. But the second one or two of these artists do these songs, people go insane. What do you contribute to this?
Rudy, there's a thing where music is made to move, touch, and kind of unite. Um, that sound that you're hearing that everybody falls in love with, from the Isley Brothers to the Commodores and all these individuals, and the cats now, these new cats these days, they're going back and listening to that. So I contribute that to capturing that feeling and wanting not only just them feeling good, but the audience that they're portraying to feel the exact same thing. Plus, everybody is now realizing in music, it's better to have something that is long lasting than something that's more popcorn, as I would call it. You don't want to have the song that hits the radio today and doesn't get played tomorrow. You want something that's going to be a lasting effect. So what they're doing is they're going back to all of these eras from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and realizing, oh, that's why the Gap Band gets to tour in 2021. Because in 1970, they took their time, they crafted their music and their musicianship with time and patience, and made sure that things were right before delivering it to an audience. So I think that that style of music is now coming back. The only difference is we don't have to wait for 4 tracks and do it on big reels from our household now. So I think that they're tapping into that feeling and wanting to make sure it's long lasting. And that's why we're getting a lot of these sounds nowadays.
Because I feel like really, and no insult to the artists of today, I feel like the 90s were really the last of that style, and then it just sort of went away. So again, in your opinion, why are we not hearing more of this on the radio, on airplay and things like that? Why is it seemed like a couple of years ago it was starting to build up a little, and then it went away, and now again it seems like it's building up again. What do we do to make sure it doesn't go away?
Well, that's the thing, Rudy. So if you think about the 2000s, when that started happening, we had what they call neo soul pop in. And neo soul was a branch off of all the soul classics, but with a nice twist of newer music. And we started to hear a little bit of that bubble, and then it went away, as you said. Every 10 years is what I'm calling it. Music changes based on the population and who's involved. So we've got from 10 to 11-year-olds all the way to 19, 20, 21 that are on TikTok, on these social media platforms. It's quick in and out, hit me now. I want to hear it now. I want to dance now. I just want to, go out with my friends and, do my TikTok parties and all these other little fun things. So it's more catered, the music of the radio is more catered to that particular artist because they're listening more, they're involved more, they're doing more things with all of the platforms that allow the music to rotate continuously. So that's why I think that's happening. But I do feel that the radio station should make more of a place for the stuff that sticks to your rib type of music, is what we call it. Simply because it's going to last longer. Plus, it opens up the eyes to these young people of what kind of music feels like and is good to last long. It's cool to have both. There should be a place to have both. We can party and do the Rihanna stuff and do all the pop music, but we can also have a place for these individuals. So I just think that radio needs to just make a place for it, and they will see it grow, and they will see it bubble over into a long-lasting situation.
So when are we going to get an album or maybe some kind of music concert video or something like that from Soul Sessions, or even a documentary? Is there works on this?
Oh man, I have a compilation that I'm going to be working on with all of these artists. So Spotlight, the new venture that is all Canadian, will be turned into not just a visual, but also an audio playlist. So not only will you be able to, get in tune with these artists visually, you can take them wherever you want to go in terms of the gym, in terms of your house, in terms of your car, because I'm putting together a playlist for every show, but a live playlist for the actual vocal recordings. We're going to mix that down really nice and neat so that way when you're playing it in your car, you can hear the sounds of these amazing, talented individuals. So that's coming every show. At the top of 2022, I want to release a Soul Sessions compilation original music album.
Wow.
Feel good album, feel good music, all the stuff that we just talked about, but something that's long lasting. And I want to take my time to curate that. We have some of the most amazing musicians. We have some of the most amazing talent in the world, period, in the city of Toronto and this province of Canada. So I want to tap into all the untapped gems, as I call them, put them all together, and then we come up with this melting pot of amazing music that Canada can be really, really proud of.
So let's get back to what you said, April 24th?
April 24th,
yes,
2021, online. You can get your tickets at www.soulsessionsentertainment.com. And again, what I'm highlighting is our amazing musicians, talent. I also want to add that we're they're being styled by Canadian fashion designers
Wow.
as well. So we're going to be in clothing that Canadian designers have made. So I'm doing everything. I want to highlight us in the best way. And this is a concert, not just a show, but it's an experience of a concert. I want people to experience the artists, get to know them really well. As you guys will notice, and on my social media platform, you'll see some dripping of interviews and conversations and getting to know Gary Beals and Ray Robinson, Layla Day, and also Kimaya, who's involved in the show. And then I got a plethora of artists that are up. So the first one that I'm doing, this is the first one. It starts April the 24th. www.soulsessionsentertainment.com. You can go there and get your tickets. Please support us. Even if you can't get a ticket, you can donate too. We take donations as well.
Of course. One last thing before we go.
Yes, sir.
Now, of course, I'm looking at that beautiful sweat top that you got on that you were showing off.
Yes.
Is there a way for us to purchase any items that has to do with Soul Sessions?
Great question. Starting April 15th, by then, I'm going to have all the merch of Soul Sessions available in a bunch of different colors that people can get. So I'm actually creating a Soul Sessions Spotlight Canadian shirt that's going to be available, so we can have all of our Canadian folks there, and then also a regular Soul Sessions that's going to be available as well, and T-shirts, because it's summertime is starting to bloom. But for those who like to stay nice and cool in the nighttime with a nice sweater, and those who want to put on a T-shirt, that'll be definitely available in April.
Okay, I'm just curious too. Will the masks, will they be available?
Yes, actually, what I'm going to be doing is when you purchase a sweater, you actually get a mask.
Nice. I love that. Our brother, thank you so much for this interview. One more time, where do we go to get tickets, all the information that's going to be happening on April 24th?
Sure. So it's soulsessionsentertainment.com. The name of the event is Soul Sessions Spotlight. We're highlighting the Canadian artists and musicians in this show series that I'm doing, and I'm calling it an experience because that's what it will be. Go there, get your tickets. On my social media platform at Soul Sessions Canada. Go there right now and check out some of the videos, check out some of the stuff that we've been doing. Just get in tune and join the mailing list so you never miss what's happening.
Thank you so much for the interview. Be safe, and I cannot wait to see and experience the 24th of Soul Sessions.
My man. Thank you so much, Rudy.